Perfect. I
Okay.
think we're both.
Hello, guys. This is Will, and I'm joined with Sam for this interview because last time we did Joseph Stachler from TM, but now we're doing Don Varda, the who was originally from TM, but then changed to Varda Communications Corporation. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so the first question is, did you have any toy trains as a, kid?
I did, but I was certainly just a train fan, so I did get a train set, and I had a couple of them, but nothing like what I was about to see when I got involved into the hobby, on a major level.
Cool. Okay. Second question is, how did you find out about TM?
I was working at a Comcast television station, and Tom McComas used to come into our station all the time. And I was editing TV shows at the time, and every couple of weeks he'd come in and he was doing something, and I got to meet him, and he asked me if he could hire me to come and work for him full time. And I said yes, and that's how I met him. I met him at a Comcast TV station when I was editing videos.
Cool. Um, what was your decision? Like, why did you want to join TM?
I wanted to join TM because, like, in my career at the time, I was pretty much, just out of college for a couple years. I wanted to have a lot. I wanted to have a lot of creative license. I wanted to be able to create my own things and do my own things. And I liked the fact that TM was doing. He was doing independent video productions. That was his thing.
Mhm.
He loved toy trains, and he was doing independent video productions. So for me, that meant we could travel, we could collaborate, we could write together, we could produce together, we could direct together, and all those things were what I love to do.
Cool. Okay. Next question. What was your favorite show to work on while working at TM?
Boy, there's a lot of them. We did Toy Train Review. We did Great Toy Train Layouts of America. We did all the I Love Toy Train videos. There were a lot of them. I'd have to say, the I Love Toy Train series was obviously Tom's most successful series. I Love Toy Train Part One. I mean, by the time I was 29 years old, I think we sold over 1 million copies of that. But I really like the Great Toy Train Layouts of America series, where
Mm-hmm.
we would go into a train collector's home, and I see you guys have a layout there in your backdrop. These
Hmm.
guys had the most elaborate, amazing layouts. And we
Yep.
traveled all over the country and saw those layouts. So we would take, Tom and I would basically be the crew, and we would go in there with a bunch of equipment, and we would videotape the collector's toy train layout. And they had all the great trains running, and it was fantastic. And then after we videotaped their layout, we would interview them. And this is so funny because computers had just came out, and Tom had one of those little iMacs. And I remember we would interview them, for like an hour or two, right? How did you get started in the hobby? What trains did you have as a kid? And they would tell us their stories. And then we would come back to TM's offices. And I remember having to I typed in every word they said, which took a long time. But then we made a story out of it, and it was just a fantastic thing that I enjoyed because these guys that are the top collectors and the trained people in the world, they're fascinating, and they have stories that you guys would love. You guys love these trains and all this stuff, and it was
Yep.
just fun for me as a young person to really go there and do a documentary on their life and then how their life connected with Lionel Trains.
Cool. Pretty. And American Flyer trains too.
And American Flyer. And let me add one more thing, if you don't mind, to that.
No, that's no. Go
I do
ahead.
remember, when I edited I Love Toy Trains Part One. That was a lot of fun too. And Tom wanted to really make something fun for kids. He wanted it to be very entertaining, and parents could give their kids this 30-minute video, and the kids would go and watch it over and over again. And it had, all the funny, silly cars, the box cars and the animated cars and the horns and the whatever. You guys
Mhm.
know all those. And we spent a lot of time on that video, and I spent a lot of time editing that video. it was really fun. Tom wanted to make something really fun for kids. He was very very in tune to making the thing fun for young kids like you guys in the hobby to get
Hmm.
introduced to a lot of different trains, get to see a lot. So I spent a lot of time on I Love Toy Trains, and that was another great toy train layouts of America, and then I Love Toy Trains were two super fun times for me.
Hmm. What was your favorite layouts that you visited while working at TM?
Wow, that's a big question, and that takes me really back into my thoughts. I mean, we visited Frank Petruzzo's house. He had a one gauge layout that was massive and very technical and elaborate. Um, we did so many train layouts. I remember. Um, I remember when we did Dave Simon's layout. He was a doctor. We did John
That's
Wayne's
the
layout.
Varda Communications Corporation ones, though. But
Yeah,
still,
yeah. Oh, that's true. That's right. That was not with TM. I mean, with TM, I'm just trying to think of. I mean, I remember Frank Petruzzo's layout.
I could
That
say
was that.
some. Oh,
What's that?
I could say some like Elliot Feinberg and Entertainment.
Thank you. Taking me for a walk down memory lane. We drove, Elliot Feinberg's was probably one of the best ones. We drove to Mall of America. He had a store there that he rented, and that was an amazing layout. And Elliot's was, we drove to Minnesota. We spent, 4 days in Minnesota. And I also like that part, like going back to your first question. See, with TM, I was getting to travel a lot and do independent videos, which I loved. But yeah, the Mall of America layout, that might be, since you jogged my memory a little bit, unless you're going to jog it some more,
I could.
well, why don't you do it and see if I remember?
Yeah,
But
sure.
that layout was spectacular.
Yeah, I agree. Since you narrated that segment too.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Um,
Like some others, like Oscar Fox, Ron Zweig, uh, Clark Dunham, and Doug Dubé's layout.
yeah,
That one's pretty cool too.
those were all amazing, man. Amazing stories. To me, the individual stories that those guys had were by far the most fascinating thing to me. Who they were as young men, who they were as family men.
Hmm.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I
Yep.
remember all those, and they were great.
Hmm. Cool. Next one is, can you think of any TM shows that you wished you edited or made better?
I really liked the style of what we did, and one of the things that I remember you guys we did we did Toy Train Review, and I don't know if you've seen those videos. You have
Yeah,
any of
we
those?
have.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and I really enjoyed those. And I just remember, we were always trying to make the programs better and try to reach as much of an audience as we could. And there's people who operate toy trains. There's people who don't operate toy trains. So those were like a news magazine kind of thing. So you could learn a little bit about how much value something had. A 64 boxcar was worth this much, and here's a short piece of this guy's layout. And they were kind of like a news magazine, and
Yep.
and, and TM was always trying to broaden that. I don't know about making any of them better. We worked super hard on those videos, you guys. I promise you, they're a lot more fun to watch than they were to make.
Hmm.
And we worked really hard on those videos. So, but I thought, at the time, we certainly did the best we could at the time. So I don't know how we could have improved them.
Yeah.
I think we got better and better as we went on.
Hmm. I actually thought of another layout, Roadside America.
Oh, there you go. I mean, see now, I mean, that's been 20, 30 years ago, but I clearly remember Roadside America. My God, that was huge. TM and I used to go to York, to the big train show, the TCA convention at York every April, every October. And we kind of planned videos around those trips too, because we were going to be out east, for a couple of weeks. And Roadside America. Have you guys been to Roadside America?
Oh, we haven't, but
Well, I
according
don't.
to your video, it looks like it's a
I
great
mean,
layout.
I don't know if you guys. I don't know if Roadside America is still operating and still a thing because that was a long time ago. But you guys love toy train layouts. You
Yep.
need to get over there because
Mhm.
just a little quick drive to Pennsylvania, which we did twice a year for many years. But no, that layout was spectacular, dude. That's like walking into a massive, Mall of America was inside of a retail store and it was incredibly detailed. But Roadside America, dude, that was Roadside USA. That was a massive layout that was the size of a shopping mall. I mean, that thing,
Mhm.
I remember walking in there and going, oh my God, it's going to take us a week just to shoot this layout because it was massive. The people there were very friendly. And the thing about a place like Roadside America and Mall of America, and I know that the store there isn't open anymore, but his train store isn't. The mall is, but his train store I don't believe is there. But Roadside America, the thing about that was so special was it opened up the hobby to so many people. You know what I mean? That people
Mhm.
young kids would walk in there who had never seen a train in their life, and they'd walk in there and see this thing and these recreations of towns and all these snow on the mountains and all this detail, and it would bring a whole new connection to the Lionel trains. We did a lot of work at Lionel's Corporation too, videotaping different things. So, but no, yeah, I mean Roadside USA, dude, that was wow. That's one of the top three.
Hmm, cool. But this is kind of an interesting question, but did did you like have like a reason why you left TM to like now we're going on to Bar Communications Corporation.
Yeah, I
Carry
did. And it's actually a sad reason. My wife and I had just got married. We were married for about 4 or 5 years. We had our first child, a little girl, and at 1 year old, she had a traumatic brain injury, and she had to be flown by a helicopter to Chicago. I had to go. My wife and I went to a hospital in Chicago for almost 2 months. We stayed at the hospital, and it just really was. It was like having an elephant's trample through your living room. It just changed everything for me. I wasn't able to travel anymore. I wasn't able to do a lot of the things, and that event, yeah, that event changed everything. And that actually, when we started Varda Communications and I started working with Joe Alcazini, it was right after that time when our daughter got sick, and then I was not able to work with Varda Communications anymore or work with TM, and that was that event. That event was the event that changed the path of my life for sure. That was
Yeah.
a horrible time, and but that's what happened. Yeah, that caused me to get out of making videos for TM or Varda Communications.
That's not good. But
No,
on to your next question, Sam. On to your next question. How did you find out about Gene Michael Productions, or the company that made like the music that you used in VAR Communications Corporation videos? Have you ever heard of them?
of course, yeah, and I'm sure we've used some of their music. And when you're making independent videos, and TM we were doing the same thing at TM. You had to find music that was you either purchased the rights to use it or not it was not copywritten music. You can't play Taylor Swift's song while there's trains going around the track, or you get my point, right? I mean, you
Yeah,
can't.
that would
Not
be
supposed to be.
unfitting.
Yeah, you mean you can't do that. And so yeah, Gene Michaels was he was an up and coming guy at the time. He had some songs, and I used a lot of his songs on sporting events, and we were doing a lot of other video productions. But yeah, he was producing independent music that you could purchase the rights to, and then you could use that music in your videos. And
Yeah.
I do remember that, and we did use some of his music.
Hmm. And some of the songs you used, Sam, according to Sam, he actually likes some of the songs that you used. I think
Yeah, we
one of
like.
the songs.
Yeah, go ahead.
Uh, yeah, one of the songs is a grand entrance. I think you use that one like some of them like the most often at the beginning of videos.
Yeah, it kind of became, yeah, I mean, we liked it too, just like you do. And yeah, it kind of became the intro mantra music that we used at a lot of the beginning of the videos.
Yeah, cool. Um, what was your favorite show to like work on but VCC, VAR Communications?
Those were the ones that I accidentally mentioned to you. Dave Simon, John Went. We
I
did a
mean,
few.
but like the
Oh, the
videos.
videos? Well, we did I Love Toy Trains at 54, 55. I think we did 56. I lost
I
track.
mean, the this.
Yes, sir. That's the
Yep,
one. That was our first
the
video.
post
And
line
you know,
post
what's that?
the post war line collector
Yes,
series.
sir. Post-war Lionel Collector Series with Joe Alcazini. Joe Alcazini, I don't know if you guys know who he is. He
Uh,
also,
we we do we
yeah,
because we've watched these bits before. So
yeah. And
yeah,
Joe Alcazini has the best Lionel post-war collection in the world. In my opinion, oh, it's by far. He's one of the most knowledgeable. He is the most knowledgeable person I've ever met. And I was in this thing for a long time and met a lot of people. But Joe's train collection, guys, I'll throw you a funny little fact that you may not know. Joe Alcazini has every train that Lionel produced from 1945 to 1959, which was the post-war series. He has every train they made. He
wow.
also has 3 or 4 of them. He has all of the train sets that they made. And that video that you just held up there, Lionel Trains of 1954, that video is the only video like in the world that ever showed those train sets running on a layout ever. I mean, no one has those train sets. They might have a couple of them. Joe has all of them. And Joe is an absolute fanatic with history and values, and he's written 20 books for Greenberg and Kalmbach Publishing. He's been published there. He was a real he's still my friend. I talked to him on the phone this morning.
Wow.
But yeah, the guy. Those videos were a lot of fun for me. I also did. I don't know if you got. If you guys have, do you guys have the video that I did called "The Romance of Model Railroading"?
Right here.
Look at that. Do you guys have my Engage video?
No, we don't
I,
have that.
I should.
That one might be rare.
It's very rare. I might have an extra copy of it I can send to you if you want to give me your address after. If you guys want to watch it, I mean, can you guys still
Yeah,
watch it? Can you guys
yeah,
still
we
watch it?
yeah we do watch them. We like
Can you
rip
play? I mean,
them.
can you play a VHS tape still?
Yeah, we like rip them to like a DVD so that like it's better quality.
Yeah,
But we don't.
but yeah, that video that you held up there, the Romance of Model Railroading. That was one of my favorite videos. I
Yeah.
love that video. That video was extremely successful, and we did a video for Mike's Train House after that. Do you have that one?
Yep,
Yeah, that
there it
that
is.
video. That video is a great little story. If you guys want to hear it, I'll tell you. But
How
that
did
video,
like Mike? How did like Mike Wolf like come up to you and want to like do that? I
that's the
guess.
story I wanted. That's what I want to tell you. I saw Mike at a train show, and I came up to him. And at the time, we definitely had, we were doing a lot, most of the video production that was done in the toy train world. And I said, Mike, man, you're doing all these new trains, and MTH is hot, and you guys are really coming on. I go, you guys need to do a video. And he looked at me, and I go, and I'm the guy that needs to do the video. I want to do it. And he said yes. And then we did that video. That video was very popular. I'll tell you guys one more real fun, cute story. We were in Minneapolis one time, and it was at a big TCA train show where Mall of America is. And they have those big Greyhound tour buses that they drive people around. You park at your hotel, and a Greyhound tour bus takes you in the city. So on this tour bus, you guys, there's TV sets on it, front, middle, and back. And we're on this bus. Joe and I were on the bus, and our video was playing on the bus. And
The
we
H
didn't.
one, the
It was.
MTH one. Oh,
I I don't know if it was an MTH. It might have been Lionel Trains at 54. But anyway, it was a video that we did, and it blew me away that they were playing our video on the bus.
yeah,
That was
that's
pretty cool.
cool. Yeah. Um. So after we finish the questions, which you only have four left, we can show some of the tapes that we have besides the three that we already mentioned,
Yeah, I
including
wish you would
some.
have held those up before we started and jogged my memory a little bit. But yeah, that'd be great.
Oh, but yeah, including some TM ones. So
Yeah.
Anyway, next is what is your favorite model train? Do you have a favorite?
Boy, that is a great question. And I still have a nice toy train collection. I have all the 64 box cars and I have a lot of engines. Wow, that you guys are really jogging my memory here.
Hmm,
Uh,
that's okay.
I really love I'm trying to remember what that what's that train called? You guys probably have one on your layout. It's like it's an operating train and then it goes long and then it shortens off on both ends. Remember what I'm talking GG1 maybe? I don't know.
I guess GG1 because it looks similar, but
Yeah, but I'll
yeah.
tell you what I can tell you what my favorite model train is. It was the steam engines that Mike's Train House used to make. Now,
Mhm.
don't get me wrong, dude. I had the Texas Specials. I had New York Central. I had New Haven. I had a tremendous collection of box cars, all Lionel. I started buying MTH when we started doing videos for MTH. But the trains that MTH made were incredible. You know what I mean? I mean, they were absolute scale models with the same sound. They had proto sound in them. They had the same
Yep.
sound of the actual train. And I'll tell you, just on a side note, when he came into the hobby, I think he pushed Lionel. He pushed them to do more because
Mhm.
he was coming out with things people had never seen. I
Like
remember
the
it.
big boys, the
Yes,
challengers,
yes, the
the
Challenger.
Allegheny, the
Yes, the
gas
Challengers.
turbine.
Yes, the Challenger was my favorite train that he made. The Lionel GG1 was my favorite train that Lionel made. But you guys, I had the Santa Fe F3s. I had all those, and I still do. I still have my collection.
Ooh, okay. What about the accessories?
I
Your
have a lot of accessories. I started buying the buildings, I mean, the Lionel buildings. And, it was funny. Tom and I don't know if you're going to hold this video up. I'll be impressed if you do. Tom and I made a video called How to Build a Toy Train Layout. Do you guys have that one? See,
we're gonna show that in a couple minutes,
I mean,
but
I had a lot of fun making that video because every
including
little.
the scene where you like bounce up and down that
Yes,
table.
and I remember that. He told me to get out. I built that table. We built that table in his shed. He told me to stand on that table and jump up and down on it. He told me to do it. I'm like, okay. And what did you guys think of that when you see this guy jumping up and down on a table?
Before Tom says like to hold it, says like stop.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is kind of an out of context type moment, but it is funny.
Yeah, and it is funny,
Give you
and
two-
it proved one thing. That was a sturdy table. But I want to tell you the
Yes.
fun part. You guys know this. You got your layout. When the train comes up and it trips a signal for whatever little thing to happen, the lights to go on, or whatever to happen. You know, I was new to all that, and Tom was not really into that, and we literally like had to figure out how to do all those things. And I do remember, and I think it was on that video that I remember I had to learn wiring and learn, when the train comes up and the lights are supposed to come on, how do we wire that and how do we do that? So that was a lot of fun. I remember
Yeah,
that.
I agree. It is a great video, and it features Elliot Feinberg in it too. So
There you
yeah,
go. Elliot was a great guy. Great guy. Loved trains. Very
yep.
successful collector. Yeah.
Mhm. Have you kept up with the toy train hobby recently?
It's a funny story, you guys. I mentioned to you, I was on the phone with Joe this morning, and Joe has a new book coming out on 64 box cars, and he just mentioned to me about publishing that book with him, and so now here we are back into the thing, and so I don't know if that'll happen or not, but he's talking about it, and I know a lot of collectors that would buy that book and would love that book, and you guys, the funny thing to you guys are both very passionate about toy trains. I mean, uh, you know
Me more. I'm more passionate, but Sam is a little bit.
Yeah. Well, imagine if you care about post-war trains and he has all these trains in mint condition and they're all beautifully photographed and they're gorgeous and he's a great rider. So yes, I mean in that aspect of the hobby, yes. I don't know if he wants to do any more videos. he does want to open his own store called the Toy Train Hall of Fame, which would be, a location where you could travel to and come and see the Toy Train Hall of Fame. Because believe me, dude, I've been in his house 50 times. He has the Toy Train Hall of Fame. He has all the trains that belong in that Hall of Fame. He has them.
Yep. Uh, oh, but what do you think about the future of the toy train hobby? This is our last question.
I hope it's really bright. And you guys are young guys, and I'm older now, but imagine the fun for a dad to have his little boy open that train set from 1954 and his eyes light up. And I mean, those were magical times, and those were great times in America. I mean, those were the greatest times in America to me. So I really like the whole family thing that it created, between fathers and sons, and something that you could go in your basement and work on with your dad, or work on with your brother, or whatever. I think that's where the real value is. Joe still goes to a lot of the shows. The hobbies change. There's no question about it. It's different. It's morphed into different things, but I certainly hope that it has a great future. And I don't think Mike's Train House is a thing anymore, right? They're not making trains
No, wait,
anymore.
they actually still are making trains.
Okay. And I don't
Yeah.
know, I don't know how Lionel is doing with, their train sets and sales. Do you guys know anything about how that's going?
It's going okay, I'd say.
Do you guys buy any new Lionel trains?
No, but we have an MTH Denver Rio Grande steam locomotive that
Beautiful.
and a post-war 10 like a scout steam engine, I think.
Okay. Yeah.
But
So
the
I
Denver
hope,
oh, sorry. The
no,
Denver Rio
I hope
Grande
that,
oh,
go ahead.
okay, the Denver Rio Grande steam engine has the ski train announcement sequence, but I'm not sure if you voiced that because it kind of sounds like you, but I don't know.
I remember that train. It probably was me, but
Yeah,
yeah,
it probably was.
yeah. All right. Show me these videos you guys have.
All right, let's get to it. We already showed these three, but do you remember this?
I do. That was a video that Joe and I did for the TCA. Absolutely. Love that video.
Mm-hmm. And that this is the second one. We have the first volume, which we got for Christmas 2 years ago,
Okay.
but we I can't find it at the moment. But Will's gonna look for some tapes to show. See? This. I was kind of thinking, would you want to like call Joe Algazzini again to see if he can talk to us?
I could ask him. I don't know if he'll do it. He's super busy, and you guys, I mean,
Oh,
talking to him is. I'm just going to pre-warn you. It's like talking to the Encyclopedia Britannica. I mean, he will
oh,
take you. He will take you back 50 years, and I mean, you better have 3 hours of time put aside to talk to
yeah.
Joe, because
Yeah.
Joe's a talk.
So I guess we don't really need to talk to him about about that because that'll be like forever.
It'll
Okay.
be
Anyway,
forever,
well,
and he's a historian. Oh, look at that! Hold that still, dude. Don't keep stop. Don't flash it around. How to build a toy train layout. Oh, yeah, there it is. I remember that.
94, 94, 30 was
1994.
almost 30 years ago.
That's crazy.
Then the Collectors Club of America video, which is from the
Oh
same.
wow, that is crazy. Yep, I remember that. Tom had a lot of a lot of footage from a lot of things. We
Mhm.
had
Then
layouts and stuff that we probably never filmed. Go ahead, show me that.
do you remember this one?
I do. Oh, that's a fun story, you guys. That's a 30-minute video, right?
Well, it's actually 50 something minutes
Oh, is it
because
50? I might be thinking of a different one then. Yeah.
yeah, good times.
Yeah, I remember that video very well. Tom and
How
I,
did it come
this is
about?
this is gonna predate before you two were born. But
Obviously.
Tom and I did a 30-minute video, and I thought you were holding it up there, and maybe you're gonna hold it up here in the next couple of minutes. But Tom and I did a 30-minute video that was probably the most popular video that we actually ever did. And you guys know what Walmart is, right?
Hmm.
Well, before Walmart, there was a store all over the world called Kmart. and our video got put into Kmart. And you guys, that was huge, okay? Because Kmart was a national, massive store, just like Walmart. And I'll never forget. I was in there shopping and I walked up to the counter, and our video was sitting in there for sale at Kmart. And dude, I mean, can you imagine how massive that is? That is big time. And I was so proud of that video. And it was, yeah, we had a video in Kmart, dude. That'd be like you guys having your video that you made in Walmart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, and it's by Good Times. Like how did that like come about?
Yeah, Good Times was a distributor. You know what, you guys? That is the video that was in Kmart.
Yeah, yep.
Can you hold the front of it up and let me look at it? No, the
Front of
other
it. So,
side, not the back, the front. All right, all aboard America's Best Model Trains featuring classic Lionel and American Flyer. Yeah, and then flip that around again on the back, you guys. I appreciate it. Let me just look at it. Yeah, so Good Times. Yeah, perfect. Thank you. So here, you'll help me now with this story a little bit. So Good Times was a distributor and they had the link to get videos into Kmart and they wanted our video and Good Times was the distributor that put our video in Kmart.
okay. Okay. That's kind of. And then there is also a, re-release on and like a, volume set in 2001 actually.
Of that
So
same
they
video?
yeah, that same video was actually it was also reissued in like a, double feature set along with a the unrelated All About Fast Moving Trains video by Greg James Productions, which is interesting.
Okay. And it's not the same trains that we had on our video?
No, it's more like a live action.
I got you.
Actually. Okay, well, here's this.
All right, let
Find
me see that.
girls with
Oh my God, I'm so glad you picked that up. Yeah, that was, hold that still. Let me just look at it for 1 second. Oh yeah, that's a video that Tom and I completely made together. I edited that entire video. He wrote the video. We probably did voiceovers on it. I don't remember. Can you show me the back of it as well? Perfect. Yeah, and I'll tell you guys, I'm super proud of that video. And I think, and I could be wrong, but I remember when that video came out, it was the number one American Flyer video in the world. I mean, it was the American Flyer collectors. I kind of felt like they weren't getting enough attention. You know what I mean? But boy, when we made that video and that video shipped all over the world, they finally got the credit due that they were due.
the video they deserved, essentially. Here's another one. Do you remember this? This is based off of the I Love Toy Train series, but
Yeah, I think Tom did that. Toy trains and big trains. Yeah, that was a video that Tom did. I did not work on that video, but yeah, Tom. I'll tell you guys a funny story. Tom put a sheet of paper on his door of the shed that we worked in, and he wanted to do this I Love series, right?
mhm.
And it could he I love toy trains. I love airplanes. I love construction. I love
Big
helicopters.
machines.
Yeah, big. There you go. Thank you, big machine. So he wrote a list of like 7 I love videos that he wanted to do, and I don't know if you guys know this video. There was a video called "Road Construction Ahead," not by Tom. It was by another guy, and it really went very well. It was a big hit, and
Yeah.
when Tom saw that video, he wanted to do "I Love Big Machines."
And that's how I guess it was born.
That is how it was born, 100%.
uh, was it this?
Yes, sir. Yeah, back.
Oh, it was.
No, that. Yeah, let me see that again real quick.
Sorry, it's gonna
Oh, you're good.
adjust my
It's okay.
brightness.
Yeah, that's that. You guys, that video there was like one of the most. Yeah, that's it. Road construction ahead. Tom did I love big machines because of that video to try to just capture some of that market.
Like Fred Levine Productions
Fred
for
Levine
the.
did I love. He did road construction ahead. He did one about airplanes too. I can't remember what it was called, but you guys remember that?
Well, we don't have those tapes yet, but
But
yeah.
he did.
Oh,
Yeah.
oops, sorry. There it is.
Yeah, there it is, you guys. That's the to my knowledge, I mean, I don't think I'm wrong. That's the number one selling toy train video of all time right there. And Tom and
I
I did
agree.
that. Tom and I did that video, and it was so funny, you guys. I was sitting. Yeah, let me see that. Can you? I can't see it. There's like a glare on it. You're gonna have to tilt it the right way. You're okay. You're okay the way you were showing it. You just got to tilt it a little bit so I can see that.
Oh wait,
Uh,
no,
so I can see the text on there. Yeah.
it's kind of hard to
Yeah.
read, but
Look, right there. Look,
there we
there.
go.
Stop. I can see that. Yeah, Tom McCollum's production, produced by Tom and Don. Yeah, I got it. Perfect. You guys, that brings back a lot of good memories for me. And Tom had a barn, a big pole barn where his office was, and then upstairs in that pole barn there was editing systems, and he set up. He gave me my own editing suite and stuff. And I can tell you guys, I edited that video for months, weeks, days, hours. I spent tons of time on that video. And Tom, wrote it and produced it and came up with the concepts. We really wrote, produced, directed it together, and I edited that video. But yeah, I'm pretty sure. I mean, that's the number one selling toy train video of all time, and
Yep.
probably always will be.
Yeah. Mhm. Maybe also mentioned Chris Gruns and online editing. Oh yeah, the online editing of some of the videos was Chris Gruns.
Yeah, Chris. Now Chris mastered our videos. So I'll explain to you guys how that happens. So we would shoot this video. We would shoot I Love Toy Trains, okay? And we would edit it, right? And we had pieces of it. Here's the first minute and a half. Here's the intro. Here's the middle. Here's this. So Chris Gruns, what he did was he mastered the videos. So we would take our little pieces. I would drive to Chicago down Lakeshore Drive. We would go to Chris's editing suite, and we would give him each piece, and he would master the whole thing together and put it together as one finished video. So you understand what I'm saying? He didn't edit the video, but he did put all the pieces together.
I see.
He mastered all of Tom's videos when I was with Tom.
I thought he also edited your bits for Varda Communications
He
Corporation.
did. He mastered our videos too. Yes, sir. He did.
Cool. Three more tapes. The Lionel video catalogs.
Yeah. What? Let me see that. What
That's the
date do you have?
91.
90. What'd you say?
91.
91. Okay. Yeah. Cool. Let me see what else you got.
There's the 92 one.
It's funny, you guys. Lionel Train. Hold that up for a second. Let me stare at that. What does that one say on the front? 93 video catalog.
90, 92.
92 Lionel video catalog. Yeah. And you guys, that's your Joe Alcazini. That's Joe. Joe,
Yep.
I'll promise you right now, all those video catalogs and all that stuff, they all belong to Joe Alcazini.
Nice. Then we got this. The new
I did
Lionel's.
that video. Yeah, I did that with Tom, the new Lionel showroom layout and how it was built. Yeah, that was a trip to Dearborn, Michigan. Yeah, boy, I remember that video. Lionel was, they were super nice to us. They let us come in there. I got it. You don't have to hold it up. They let us come into their layout. You know what I mean? And gave us like 2 full days to videotape their layout. And it was a massive layout. They were very friendly. We got to meet Richard Kuhn, the owner of Lionel, Nick DeGrazia, the owner of Lionel. Richard Kuhn owned the Detroit Tigers. He owned Little Caesars Pizza. He owned Lionel. He owned a lot of things. He was a big businessman. I know he owned. There was a movie called A League of Their Own that he produced, and he owned Lionel, and that was a big deal for me to get to meet the owner of Lionel.
Okay. Oh yeah. So we have some of the Toy Train review volumes. This is the third one.
Can you read on the back like what the stories are? Can you just read just the red headline? That's
Sure.
all. Go
Like
ahead.
the Choo Choo Barn. Oh, the Choo Choo Barn.
Choo Choo Barn. Okay, what was the next red one you have on the back of that?
Uh, Weaver models.
Okay, Weaver. I
Bob
remember
Weaver.
that.
Carl Burkhart, Bruce
Okay.
Lawrence,
Okay.
and then like a Mark's train set, Terry Johnson's layout too,
Okay.
which he eventually finished.
Okay. You
And then,
guys, there were a lot of smaller companies coming up, right? Like MTH was a small company before they became gigantic. And there was Weaver and there was Right Away Trains. And there were all these little companies coming up making boxcars, making steam engines. I have a lot of those trains in my collection. And I remember Weaver. Yep. And we did a
and
story on that. Yeah.
Williams
And
as
oh, yeah,
well.
Williams. Williams made nice trains. And I had a lot of their trains. I bought I know I bought the first Texas specials they made. I really liked F3s a lot too. I had a lot of those, and yeah, Williams was yeah. I mean that those are great memories, man.
Oh yeah, speaking of Terry Johnson, he collected the hats.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, yeah. It's actually a beta copy of Toy Train View 3. Well, we have the
Oh yeah,
VHS of it too,
yeah.
but
That's cool. You got man. You guys are the historians of this whole show, man. You got more historical stuff than I've ever seen. I have a lot of those videos, though. The beta format was still a thing. You know what I mean? So I'm not surprised that you have that. That's pretty cool, though.
okay. Let's actually just go through the Toy Train reviews that Don was involved. We're actually gonna go through the Toy Train reviews that you were involved in, just to see if there are like any memories that you have
Yeah.
with
Well,
them.
you're gonna just read me those headlines on the back, and I'll remember them.
Okay. Okay. Well, the first one is like hitting something, but I guess we can start off with the second one, Toy Train
All
View
right.
2.
Let me see that. Okay, and
This is
read me your headlines on the back of what he wrote the videos about. Just those red headlines. If he still did the same
sure,
thing.
like Roadside America, as we mentioned, Lionel catalogs, Right of Way, which you mentioned, Harry Turner, Magical World of Lionel, that,
Yeah. Yeah.
some conventions, Rich Sherry repaint tips.
Rich Sherry. Yeah. Yeah, that was a great video. That was part two, you said?
Mhm.
Yeah.
From
Yeah.
91.
The Toy Train review videos were by subscription. So we had people, just like you subscribe to a magazine, Tom decided to make a video magazine and we had viewers. We had, hundreds of people that every time one of those videos, they got it. They subscribed to that video
Mhm.
series. And we were constantly making those videos.
Oh, and then although in the seventh one it said that Kalmbach like banned those Toy Train review or something like that.
Well, yeah, here's what's funny. And Tom did that to get attention because what happened was, if TM Video does a price guide on 64 box cars and Kalmbach does a price guide, we now have competition, right? So what
Mhm.
happened was Tom was doing these videos and these reviews and these things, and then and Kalmbach saw that he was, bringing out some good stuff that they weren't doing, and then they banned something he did, and instead of making a big deal out of it, he decided to use it for publicity. You know what I mean? See
Yeah.
see the thing. Here's the thing that you get to see that Kalmbach banned. That Kalmbach doesn't want you to see this, but here it is.
Yes. So now we got the fourth one, Angela
Oh,
Thomas's.
I remember that cover very well. Can you read me the highlights on the back of that one?
Yep. Lionel Showroom layout. Mike Salnick,
Okay.
uh, Lionel Johnson, Ed Millars, and
Okay.
George Millars, which you
Okay.
narrated with the
Okay.
rocket segment,
Oh
the
yeah.
blast off, and then slow motion.
Yeah.
Yep. And Lou Palumbo's Underground Railroad.
Oh, the great Lou Palumbo, man. What a collector he was. Wow.
Mhm.
That's a great guy.
Before his puppet assistant Vinny came along. Yes, because he starred in a Future Out of Toy Trains videos after you were there, actually.
That's funny.
We, yeah, and then we got five, six, seven, and eight,
Wow, look at
which
that.
I know you didn't. I think you probably did not edit 9, 10, or 11 or 12 because Joe Stachler actually edited the 12th one, and then he
Okay.
became TM.
Yeah.
The fifth one has Trainland USA, another one of those big ones
Massive. Yep, I
with Red
remember it.
Atwood,
Red Atwood. Okay.
John Stanley,
Okay.
the modern era layout, Bob Brenneman as well,
Okay.
who also had a G gauge layout too. The sixth one has Elaine Sillits, who was also a Garden Railroad.
Oh, I remember that. Oh, yeah, I remember that. That was the first time I had ever really seen a pretty big garden railroad. Garden railroads are difficult, you guys. They are tough, man.
Yeah,
Like you're dealing with the outdoors and the wind and the rain and the elements and the snow. But yeah, I remember that. That was really fun for me. I love that.
yeah. Oscar Fox, like we said, and some March stuff. And then okay, the seventh one looks like that. With the
Okay.
Alco on
Love that
the
Alco.
like Warren Frost.
Warren Frost. Yep.
Yep. Dave Petrowski, who did a Christmas layout.
Yep. I remember that.
That was pretty cool. And oh yeah, the Heston Steam Museum.
See, now that's right in our neighborhood. So Tom lived 1 mile from the Heston Steam Museum,
That's
and
where
we
and
went
that's
over
where he
there.
shot and that's where he shot footage for the first Off Toy Trains volume.
Yeah, and I mean, Heston Steam Museum is right down the road from his house, and that's where his barn was. And that's yeah, we went there, spent a full day there. That's still happening. That's still going on. You can ride real trains
Yep.
there, and it's
Mm-hmm.
very fun. Yep, remember
Yeah.
that?
Yep. And then we got the Joe Algazzini talking about the 6464, the Missouri Pacific
Yeah.
boxcars. The one with like the logo and the herald and all that stuff. And then
Guys,
the
Joe
eighth,
Alcazzini is a walking encyclopedia. The guy knows more about toy trains than
anyone.
Elon Musk knows about electric cars. I mean, he knows everything about Lionel trains.
Okay, and then we got the eighth one with Howard Smith's GP9
Oh, and
painted.
look at that. And guys, that was a real GP9. That was a
Yep.
real train there. And I remember being outside photographing that. You guys, is that not a gorgeous train? That is beautiful. Look at that thing.
Yeah,
That
it
that was
is.
that was real, dude.
Looks
I mean,
looks
that was a
realist. Looks
yeah, that
really
was
realistic.
yeah. It's very realistic, and I
Almost
had
looks
never.
like a Lionel train like grew bigger in size.
That's exactly what it is. And guys, I remember when we got out of the car and we were walking up and we saw that, and I had seen the little model of it, the toy train, and I saw that thing, and I went, "Oh my God!" You know,
Yeah.
there's so many neat things. You guys know the Lionel logo with the L and all that. I went
Hmm.
to a train collector's house with Tom and Joe and everybody, and I can't remember the guy's name, but he had a massive basement and a train layout, and he had a marble floor, okay, like a white marble floor, and embedded into that floor was the Lionel L. I mean,
Cool.
it was like, dude, these guys take this stuff seriously.
Yes, they do. So also like Chuck Ream, who also did those also had those live diesel switchers. Yep. And then John Potter,
John Potter,
the pre-war person collected pre-war, and of course, oh yeah, Stan Roy,
Stan Roy, yeah,
the one that runs the most trains, and we think,
yeah, he's a fanatic.
yes, he is. Maybe show some of and see like the people for like those bar communications. For the wait, Bar Communications Corporation ones. PGA Tour player Ed Doherty.
Yeah, Ed Doherty.
Dougherty.
Yeah, Ed Doherty. Yeah, what a fun thing that was. We went to his place. He lives in Pennsylvania. He was a pro golfer, and there's footage of. Oh, you guys have seen the video, but he sinks
Yeah.
a putt in that video, and yeah, what an incredible guy, incredible collector, incredible mom. Met his whole family. We're friends. Joe's very good friends with Ed, but yeah, what a great guy.
Uh, John Went.
John Went was a local business owner in Crown Point, Indiana. He had a very small house, and in his attic in his house was where his train layout was. And he actually hired a company to come up there and build that layout. And it was a beautiful layout. John John was a very successful businessman, but didn't have time to build his own layout. So he hired a company to come up into his attic and build that layout.
And also Dave Simon,
Dave Simon passed away. He was an eye doctor in the Munster, Indiana area. Where are you guys located?
Massachusetts.
What
So
city?
we're in like the Cape Cod area.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so John Went was a business owner, hired a company to build this layout in his attic. It was very tight. I remember filming there. There was not a lot of room for lights and the walk around. We were scrunched in there like sardines. But John Went was a great guy.
Some footage of his layout as well as Dave Simon's. We're also using the MTH one.
Which video
So
was that? Oh yeah,
the
yeah, yeah. They were. Yep, they were. Yep. Well,
Yep.
Mike Wolf, who owned MTH, he wanted to show his trains running on different people's layouts. You know what I mean? That was the whole thing because people, you guys got to remember this, and I didn't. I just learned this as I went along. But real collectors never opened the train out of the box. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Joe Alcazini told me to stop opening my trains. He said, "Do not open that box." I'm like, what?
Hmm.
I bought it to open it. I'm going to have a little layout. But you understand when MTH came
Yeah.
along, you had these massive trains, the ones that you mentioned, those steam engines you mentioned. And you guys, the thing that was different was people were running those trains on layouts. And those trains were $1,500, $2,000. That they were not running very often, right? But vintage Lionel trains, they weren't running those on layouts.
Yeah. But we also have the Great Toy Chain Layout series. We didn't mention the people in the fourth volume, like
Can you hold that up for a second? Let me look at that.
yep,
Yeah.
sure.
Now, does he have, that's Tom McComas and James Toohey. Now, you guys, I don't know if you know this, but TM Video was Toohey McComas. That's what it started as. You guys are aware of that or no?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
am.
Yeah, TM Video, James Toohey, a writer from Chicago. Tom McComas was from Chicago. And then James Toohey left, and then Tom just had the initials TM, so it stayed TM. But yeah, I
They're
remember
also
that video. I
they're
worked,
also TMK.
yeah, and that was a TM. You know what that K stands for, boys?
Coon, right?
Coon. Because he partnered, you're good, dude. He partnered
Yeah.
he partnered with Richard Kuhn, who owned Lionel. And I told your brother that when you were walking around getting videos. I got to meet Mr. Kuhn, and yep, that was
Yep.
TMK.
Mm-hmm. But video featured Barry Leonard
Yeah,
and Brad Nelson.
yeah. And I edited that video. I remember the cover. I did a lot of work on that video. I
Will's
love
gonna get
those videos. Do you
yeah.
guys,
You
do you
too.
guys do you guys like the Great Toy Train layout videos?
Yeah, they're
Because
pretty
I
cool.
love those videos.
Yes. Well, we also have the fifth one, which we
Yeah, I mean,
discussed.
it's so funny when you show me these. Just show me the cover. I immediately know whether I worked on it or not, and I edited that video as well.
Mhm. And the sixth one too.
Now that cover looks a little different. What does it say on the back? What's on there? Does he have a little description?
Frank Petruso and Elliot Feinberg.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, I knew both those guys. Yeah,
Yeah, pretty cool
you
stuff.
guys, Frank Petruzzo was a massive Lionel collector, and he had everything they made, man. I got to go to his house. I went to his house and met him and a couple times, and he had everything that they made.
Mm-hmm. Uh, let's see. Will's gonna try and look for. Oh, oh wait, oh wait. Do you remember this? History of Lionel Mono Railroading.
I do, and I remember that still image. Yeah, I remember that picture on the front of that. I do. Does it have the year on the back of it of when it was made?
1991, and
91.
it's
So
by a small company named Mintax Entertainment.
gotcha. Yeah, I remember that. I feel like I remember the front cover of that still, but I didn't work on
Yeah,
that film.
this one.
Yeah, very nice.
And then
How
we
did the
got
cover?
two more. Do you remember producing this? It's gonna
Children's.
be
Oh yeah, TM highlights. Yeah, yeah, I do remember that. And let me tell you a little bit about that, you guys. So what happened? I got it. Let me tell you about how those videos came about. So we'd go tape all these layouts, right? And
hmm
we were never able to use all of it. I mean, we had stuff that was on the cutting room floor that never made the video. And then Tom said, "Hey, let's do a TM highlights video and take all those scenes that nobody's ever seen and put them in a video." And that's how that video came about.
that's how it came about. Also, we have the first toy train review
There's your Lionel F3 there. The most famous F3. Yeah,
ever.
I remember that video.
hmm But
Yeah.
there also is Mass Dick Brown.
Okay.
Yeah, Dick Brown, as well as Bernie Rubin,
Bernie
the
Rubin.
uh
Yeah.
the person who owned that Hudson that was like worth a lot of money, I believe. And then and the Lionel Archives too. It
Yeah.
also had John
I mean,
Brady.
and I've made several trips to the Lionel Archives. And I mean, you guys, I don't know how much are you guys into the actual trains?
Uh, I'm really a train guy, I guess you could say. I'm
Did
kind
you
of
build that layout?
yeah, we did. It's actually not Lionel. It's actually Tommy, or like that type of stuff. But anyway, Will's gonna get out a few more unless if he doesn't have anything else. So like, he's, yeah, yeah, he's um, he's, he's pretty much yeah, his things, but something like well, well, exception. Well, with the exception of, well, I know the movie one, the
Yeah. And
1976.
what does he have a date on the back of that one?
That's the 1990 VHS release.
Yeah. And that cover looks very similar to me. That was a TMK video, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know that I worked on that one, but I did see that. I definitely saw the still artwork for that cover.
hmm maybe asking about with like price guides and stuff. You know about those like TM like price guides?
Yeah, I do. So at the time I worked with TM, TM also had Joe Alcazini working for them. Joe Alcazini knew the fair market value price of every Lionel post-war train. And they started working on those price guides, and there was competition between Kalmbach Publishing, right? You've heard of them. They do Classic Toy Trains magazine. They were doing price guides, and then TM started to do his own price guides to try to compete with them.
hmm there's another one, Magic of Line
Oh yeah, that was a video that I definitely worked on. You have a year on the back of that one?
93.
Yeah, I remember that video well. I haven't seen that video in a long time, but it's a great video. I loved it.
Mm-hmm. Because you actually talked about like the train thing at like the program at the beginning of the program. Like you talked about like the layouts and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I'll tell you another fun memory, you guys. I don't know if you're aware of it or not, but Tom and I got to go on the Tom Snyder television show.
Oh yeah.
And that was in NBC. That was at NBC in Los Angeles, and that was a super amount of fun for me. Tom, and his wife and I flew out there, and we were going to be out there for 3 or 4 days, and him and his wife went on vacation for a couple days. So I got a rental car and I'm just driving around Los Angeles. And I went to the NBC studios and met some people. And I got to tour all the sets for all the TV shows and all that, which was a lot of fun. And then we did the taping of the Tom Snyder show. And that was a big, I would have to say that was the height of TM video because uh, that TV show was on late at night and it had a real loyal audience. But I mean, I think like 4 million people watched that show, and Tom Snyder allowed Tom McComas to show one of our videos and mention it on that show. Imagine this, you guys. You got a show that 4 million people are watching, and you get to hold up a video of whatever it was that he held up. Maybe it was I Love Toy Trains. I don't know. You guys, this is a fun story for you. Our phone, we went back home, right? We were in Los Angeles. We taped the show. He airs the show. He aired it a couple times over the weekend. We had like 9 phone lines of people answering phones at TM. You guys, those phone lines rang constantly for 4 weeks in a row. People ordering videos from the
Wasn't
top
there
side.
like a story that Tom said like on like New Year's Eve they ran the show, but like
Yes,
but Tom didn't know?
yes, yes. I was there for all that, man. And it was like they ran it again. They didn't tell us, right? And then the phone was ringing off the wall. And it's New Year's Eve. The pole barn is empty. We all ran in there and started answering the phones.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It was cool.
Yeah, but as we all know, Tom sadly passed away this year, right?
Yeah, I was very sad to hear about that. Yeah, I heard that he passed away, and yeah, that was very sad. When I think about Tom, I just think about the joy that he wanted to spread through model railroading.
Hmm.
He obviously loved Lionel, but he wanted kids to learn about toy trains and layouts. And imagine this, you guys. I mean, some kids, their dads don't own any trains, and their dads don't have a layout in their basement, and their first introduction to a toy train was the I Love Toy Trains video. And then what did that do? They went out and bought trains. They went out and got their dad introduced. So Tom was very passionate about having the hobby be a great thing for young kids and for people. And he, of course, had an adult audience too, with people subscribing to Toy Train Review and Great Toy Train Layouts of America and all that. And he had a market there, but he really was trying to share a lot of happiness with people, and he was just trying to share the love of toy trains. And I love toy trains. He came up with that title, and that's who he was. He
His
was
le
sharing. That's who he was sharing the love of toy trains. That's what he wanted to do. That's what made him happy.
yeah, his legacy will forever continue into the minds of toy train enthusiasts alike.
Yeah, absolutely. It sounds like something he wrote, I mean,
Yeah.
that's absolutely true. And look at you guys. You have all these videos and you've watched them all, and you're
Yep.
knowledgeable. And there's millions of kids. I don't know that they have the extent of your collection, because you guys have a great collection, but there's millions of kids who have that I Love Toy Train video in their basement.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember Nick Warden of Warden Entertainment, didn't he message you about some like tapes? Well, he if you don't know, he has all of those VAR communication videos, I
I know.
believe.
So one of these guys put all of our videos on YouTube, and they didn't ask us. Well, but
Yeah.
yeah, we saw our
Hmm.
videos on YouTube and whatever, and yeah,
Yeah. Yeah,
but no, I want, we want, we wanted the same thing that Tom did, to spread the good
hmm
news of this hobby. Just
Yeah.
something that's just wholesome, good stuff, and it's about families.
And about all the good stuff that toy trains bring us.
Yeah, and you guys think about this, and I know you're very young, but think about the 40s and the 50s and the 60s. Those were the booming times of America. That was when
Hmm.
America was booming, and Lionel trains were booming, and guys could go out and buy a train that was very expensive, you know what I mean, and collect thousands of these, and they were quality, well-built trains. So that was a special time in America. And
Hmm.
I was born in 1966, so I can't tell you about 1945. It's like me talking to you guys about 1995. That was a long time ago, and you weren't even born yet.
Well,
So
because we were 21, so we were born in 2003, so
yeah, there you go.
around
You
the time
well, I
Joe
mean, so you
Stachler.
weren't. Yeah. So yeah, but you get my point. I wasn't born in
I do.
1945, and those were special times.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention for Toy Train Review 8, you actually did a segment showing like new products that were released during that time, like the right-of-way signal thing, as well as the track cleaning
Yeah.
thing and
Oh, and
rubber
those,
roadbed.
yes. And right away, we met their owner. We went to their factory. He was really, he had those traffic lights and train lights that blinked, and those were very, very intricate, detailed models, you guys, that nobody had ever made. It was kind of like MTH coming along with those big steam engines that were built exactly to scale with the sounds. I mean, these guys were doing right away was trying to build accessories that were just absolutely complex, gorgeous, beautiful replicas of the real thing.
And they did. They did.
Yeah, they did. I have some of
Uh,
their engines. I have a right away steam engine and a right away caboose, and I have all that stuff. I still have that with my collection.
Pretty cool. We have something. Um, I guess we can might be able to end this call now because we've talked through a lot.
I hope I didn't over talk your head off, you guys.
No, 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 that was pretty cool. And
Yeah.
maybe maybe we can send like I can we could send a message to you asking like if you have any like VHS tapes that you could like send to us so that we can have them in the collection.
Why don't you do that, you guys? Because I can look over what I have, and I know I still have some. And if I have like duplicates of, if I have 5 or 6 of them, I'd be happy to send you guys one of them. No problem.
Are they like new, brand new sealed? Probably.
Oh yeah, they're sealed. They've never been opened.
Okay. Well,
but
yeah. Well, I
guys,
mean,
when I
yeah.
send it to you though, I want you to open it and watch it.
Well, obviously we will open it because toy trains are just great. But this is the end of the episode. So hope you guys enjoyed us talking to Don Varda and peace out.